I think I prefer RPGs that give you really strong abilities, but then also deal a lot of damage to you. I feel like one of the issues with Final Fantasy VII or other, I think Final Fantasy games in general actually, is that they don't give you a lot of options to heal. They give you like items. Sometimes you'll get restore soon-ish in the game, but like especially the beginning of the game, you don't really have much going on. So they try to make the enemies do really little damage so that you can get through a whole dungeon without just running out of items or running out of resources. But in this game, they didn't have to worry about that because guarding heals you. So they can have random enemies do tons of damage if they want because you do have the ability to heal and defend. Tut, such a trifle wound. Does it still hurt? A little bit. I learned first aid. I thought it would be useful, particularly in times like these. Well, no joke. Shauna, learning? That's something new. Wow. Are you trying to like... You're trying to hit that? Because you're not doing a good job. Mr. So-and-so might come back injured at any moment. Am I Mr. So-and-so? Let's use the shack over there. Alright. Roasted for sure. What the heck are those? Diglett used dig. Oh no! I'm sorry, that's a platypus. Yeah, it does not look like a mole. And it looks like he has like a pirate cap on, or like a bandana. Holy crap, that did 24 damage. I guess that's just like his head, but it looks like a bandana. Spinning cane. Yeah, I always like a final boss to be hard, like difficult. That's one thing that I really am adamant about. Like if I were a director of a video game or something, I would be very adamant about making the final boss very difficult. I just think after playing the entire game, you want to feel like you've accomplished something. And in beating a final boss that's actually like difficult, I don't think it always has to be difficult as long as it's epic. Like, Sephiroth wasn't that hard, especially if you know what you're doing, but it was epic. I mean, you had a fight where you had 3 different parties fighting Bizarro, if, you know, you have it set up that way. Saber Sephiroth looks awesome. There's the battle afterwards, you know, there's the final battle of Genova. Like, the music's really epic. Like, it feels epic, even though maybe it's not that difficult. But yeah, like I like the final boss to be hard. I hate when final bosses are just easy and you're like, well, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And when you remember the game, you usually remember the final boss because it's the last thing you did. So if the final boss sucks, you tend to remember the game is not a great one. Here you go. Thanks. It's much better now. It seems we completely lost those fools from Helena. Dart, tell me about these last 5 years. Well, I was in Vegas, and I won a bunch of money, and that's about it. It's okay, never mind. We don't have time for this now. It was a journey for revenge. It was a journey to find the guy who deprived me of something precious and kill him. I couldn't tell you, Shauna. That's why I left by myself. The Black Monster? Okay, that sounds like a Scooby-Doo villain. I'm just saying. Black Monster is legitimately, I think that's a Scooby-Doo villain. I think if you look at all the Scooby-Doo villains, I'm pretty sure one of them is called Black Monster. If not, something close to that has been said in some Scooby-Doo episode. The Black Monster. I only know the name. Nobody would tell me more about it because they said I was still too young. What is the Black Monster? What are you talking about? I have two homes. One is Celeste, where I spend time with Shauna. And the other is where I spend time with my parents. My first... Sorry, I missed that. Which was taken from me by the monster 18 years ago. Neat. Was it neat? Dart's hometown, 18 years ago. Feels bad, man. Everywhere Dart goes, everything burns. It was when I was 5 years old. Neat was assaulted by the Black Monster. Everywhere Dart goes, it's a volcano. We were lucky. Only 3 of us could get out from the village. Of course, it was my family. But my father returned to the village. Is he the king? Does he have like a crown, or is that just his hair? And my mother followed my father into the village to help everybody, but that's where the Black Monster was waiting. I feel like that's a bad idea. Like, they're dead, dude. Like, they are dead. Did you see that fire? I was left alone, shivering and waiting for dawn. The sun revealed a foreign landscape. It was a completely transformed Neat. Super dead. They're not just dead, they are super dead. And I found this. That is where I found my first Tamagotchi. And since then I've been feeding him. What I found on the ground was only this. It's a memento. The only thing my father carried around all the time. Dart, it's okay, I understand. Shauna, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. It's okay, I knew you would tell me someday. Don't say any more. So, you just came back from a journey to bring closure to the past. I'm still not there yet. You said Neat. It doesn't seem to be a village in this country. It was located farther north from here. I guess nobody even remembers its name anymore. Labbits, tell me, what is going on in this country? Currently, our kingdom of Basil is at war with the Imperial Sandora. The war is spread all over Serdio. Why was the truce broken? Because of the dragon, the legendary monster added weight to Sandora and broke the balance of power. Then Emperor Dole started to be more aggressive. Dargan? No way! Such a thing can be used in war? Do you know something about it? They tried to eat me. I was swooped down on by a dragon before I entered Celeste. I was overwhelmed. There was no way to escape from it. I was saved by a passing warrior. That's why I am still alive. The dragon is advancing faster than I thought. We must do something or it'll be too late. You mean more casualties? Yeah, it's a war. Anyway, I have to go back to Indel's castle in Vale. There are so many things I have to report to King Albert. You know what, Dart? You guys should come along with me. Minister Noish might know something about the Black Monster. I see. They're a royalty with a long history. I might be able to find out something new. It's a done deal. It's not like we have anywhere else to go. Labbits, don't take chances. You are not completely well. You'll make a good wife one day. Calm that down, Lavitz. Thanks. Let's go. That's how he sleeps. He just... Can I talk to the horse? What is he doing? He's just sticking his hand out. Well, now it looks like I'm petting him. Welcome back, George. Almost falling. What? I'm supposed to grab this axe, right? I think I remember this. But for some reason, it didn't let me grab the axe first. Oh no, pirate moles. The worst.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Volcano.
Spinning cane.
Spinning cane. Plop. Get plopped on.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Oh yeah. Ba 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 ba. Do do do. Oh, right. I turned myself around. Wait, it literally doesn't let me pick up the axe. Wow. Okay. I have to walk around and be like, perhaps it'd be a good idea to pick up the axe. It's got to be a fresh axe.
Spinning cane.
I think maybe one thing they could have done to improve the combo system in this game is if there was like a good great system, where like if you hit the button close to the square, you get like a 100% or whatever, and then if you hit it perfect, it's like a 110% or something. Because you can hit the square like within a couple frames and it works. Like sometimes when I hit it, it's fully full, and then other times it looks like I just barely got it in time, but it still works. Like right there was like perfect. So it would have been cool if it got like a little bonus if you hit it like perfect. Whack-a-mole edition.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Volcano. You and your friends did a $100 bowling match? Think of it, 100 bits. Volcano! So you bet $100 on a bowling match with 3 other people and you won, so you got $400? Pretty dope. Seems too far to jump over. Maybe I need an axe. What? Is that all? Because it won't let me go the other ways. Unless maybe now that we've lost them, I'm allowed to go this way. No. Can I grab the axe now? Oh, right. It would be 4 other people, because if you made $400, then you'd have to have 4. It'd have to be $500 in the pot. Yeah, that's pretty, I can't say I condone betting $100 on a bowling match. The most I ever bet on a bowling match was, like, I don't even remember how much it was. No more than like $50.
Yes.
And I didn't actually bet that. It was like, I'll give you $50 if you win, not $50 to the winner. It was when I was younger, actually. Basically, adults were trying to, like, scam people out of money with me. It was an office party, and one of the adults knew I was a good bowler, and the other one didn't. So he was like, I bet you $50 he can beat you. And they were like, yeah, right, this little snob can't beat me. And then I beat him because I was a good bowler.
Yes.
So basically they hustled somebody with my bowling skills. Yeah, it was a great office party. Really solid. Hustling kids. Hustling people with the kids at the party. Safe to say I don't work there anymore. But hey, it was fun. I bowled and made money. I get it. We can knock down the tree. Okay, listen. What is this? Friggin' Dora the Explorer? To put this tree across the river, it may work as a bridge. It could be worth trying. Whoa! Who says whoa when they're knocking down a tree? Why did they try to grab it? What are they doing? Wasn't that the plan? Wait, you guys were gonna try to carry the tree over there? Do you know how much trees weigh? What was even the plan there? Like they were gonna try to cut down the tree that was already falling over the cliff and then catch it? I don't even understand what their plan was.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
You can't just catch a tree. They have an intelligence score of 1. Yeah. I think we need to level up some and get some intelligence because right now they don't know what the heck they're doing. Also, you see how much damage I'm doing now? Holy cow. When did that happen?
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Oh, I think those things just take a lot of damage because these moles take like a lot less damage. You're helping, Shada. I'm helping. You must have an intelligence score of X to solve problem Y. What was the game I was playing the other day? Oh, so, that's what it is. My wife and I have this board game. I can't think of the name because we only played it once. It's this giant board game. It's like comes in a box that's like huge, and it's basically like you. It's like one of those really involved strategy games where you have like a character with stats, and you have to go through solving a mystery. But what's cool about the game that I thought was cool is you have like an intelligence stat, and whenever you come up to a puzzle, depending on your intelligence stat, that's how many moves you get. So for example, you might come up to a stone tablet that you have to solve this puzzle to unlock the door or something, whatever. And so then you pull out your phone, and there's an app that's attached to the board game, and so you'll come up to this stone tablet and you'll say, okay, I want to do the puzzle, and then you open up the app, and the puzzle, maybe it's like a mastermind or something where you have to guess what the solution is, and if you have an intelligence stat of like 5, then you get 5 chances to guess what the mastermind puzzle is. So it was kind of neat, like the way you were saying you need intelligence to solve the puzzle. That's kind of a good example of it, where like you, depending on how much intelligence you have that much chance to solve it. So I thought that was kind of neat. What's that? What luck? We can cross with this. Yes, great mind of a great person you have. What's up, Dark Lord? Good to see you, dude. You're a board game fanatic? I tell you what, when we're done with Legend of Dragoon, before we switch over to why do I keep forgetting the name of that stupid game? Cat Lateral Damage. I'll go grab it and show you. My wife and I really like board games. We've had a couple of bought a couple board games that are like more involved and tried to get into them. Right now, our favorite board games to play are co-op board games. We found a couple different co-op board games that are really, really fun. I'm really enjoying the concept of co-op games. I want to go find like every co-op board game ever made and like try them all out, because so far I've yet to find a stinker. Like, I've enjoyed every one that I've played. They're just really fun because there's no loser, so like there's no sore loser at the end of the game. Everyone either wins or everyone loses, so it's not like you have to compete against each other, you're more working together. Our favorite one right now is Forbidden Island. Forbidden Island is a super fun co-op game. It's really simple. You can like teach anyone how to play it within minutes, but you have to work together to win. So having someone who knows what they're doing helps. And you know, you can have it be pretty easy, or you can have it be really difficult, depending on what difficulty you set. And it's really, really fun. I like it a lot. And what I like about Forbidden Island is you can physically see yourself lose. It's not like, you know, you keep playing, and then, oh no, you ran out of hit points or whatever. Like, you can see the map slowly sink until you're like there's only like 4 platforms left, and you're like, oh no. And then there's like a meter that goes up that shows you when everyone's gonna drown, and like, so you can really like visualize, oh crap, things are going bad. It makes it really fun. You look like a civilian. What is the matter? What do you mean, what is the matter? Hold on, I am a Knight of Basil. We should be allies. I'm your enemy. We escaped from Sandora. Honey, don't say that or we're going to be arrested. But these knights destroyed our lives. We couldn't stand living in Kazas. I thought it said Kansas for a second. And ran away from there. Please excuse us. You don't need to excuse yourself. King Albert always lends a helping hand to sufferers, even those from an enemy country. What? Son, are you hungry? Yes. Then have this. Thank you. If you go through here, you'll find Bale. You can go there if you like. But we don't know anybody. Why don't you go to my house? It's too big for my mother and myself anyway. You are? My name is Labbits. I am a knight in the service of King Albert. Thank you very much. How kind of you, Sir Labbits. Good guy, Labbits. We're not in Kansas anymore. If you like Pandemic, Forbidden Island is literally a simpler Pandemic. That's legitimately what it is. Like, same rules, same concept as Pandemic, but it's a little simpler. It's a little more fast-paced, it's a little simpler, it's easier to get more people involved because Pandemic's a little more complicated. So yeah, like if you have the game Pandemic and you're like, I love Pandemic, but it's hard to play with other people because it's kind of complicated, Forbidden Island is the game to buy because it's literally Pandemic but simpler. And a little more like fast-paced and easier to understand. Pandemic takes a little more setup and a little more like understanding of special abilities and stuff. Forbidden Island is really simple, really fast-paced. You could play like 3 games in an afternoon. Welcome back, Arco. I found a rock. Let's go, boys. Rockin' and rollin'. Still getting used to this menu. Detonates and attacks all. I wonder if that's what that guy used as his death move before that did a bunch of damage to us. You know, I like all the board games and like multiplayer games that are coming out where you use like an app on your phone, but at the same time I kind of prefer games where you just have the board. I mean, some of them are good, but I don't know, I'm kind of sick of like always having to look at my phone for everything. Wow, we literally can't hit this thing. Is this where Shauna comes into play? Because she can actually hit the bat. I guess so. Shauna, you're useful after all.
Yes.
Like, it depends on the game, too. Like, this board game I'm talking about where we use the phone is cool for the puzzles, but other than that, it's really annoying having to use the phone, because everything you use the phone for, you could easily just put on the board. Like, basically your piece is like on the phone and you like move around on the phone, and it's like, why not just move around on the board? It's kind of silly. But the puzzles make sense, because the puzzles are like, you have to do slide puzzles or do mastermind puzzles or solve a whatever, and so it's all on the phone, which makes sense. The phone also does the RNG rolls for you, which is kind of nice. Wow, it actually ran away. Do I stay poisoned, I wonder? Zycros, thank you for the 12 bits. Yeah, I'm poisoned. Do I have something to heal poison? Yes. Good thing I bought those. I bought those just randomly on a whim, not knowing if I would need them. Is that a water slide? I'm not sure you understand how much I want to ride this water slide. Decipher, thank you for the host. The legend of a Dragoon. Okay, those guys are pretty cool looking. I like their animation. They're like, I'm a slime monster. spinning cane. It's an interactive water slide, even better. Okay. You have a challenge for me? Oh boy. Is the challenge to drink my coffee? You'll donate $1,000 if I plat Super Meat Boy. That's like, it's like the greatest thing I ever heard, because I still really want to platinum Super Meat Boy, and I need incentive to do it because reasons. I still really, like, I really want to do some streams where I just sit and work on Super Meat Boy, because it's something I've always wanted to do. But I've been too busy with Hearts-a-thon and Celeste runs to do it. But I got to get back into it, man, because I really do want to do that. It's like something I've always wanted to complete, just for myself, really. Just for the, I don't know, the achievement of doing it, I guess. But it's just something I've always wanted to do. Something to prove to myself I can do it, you know.
This game sucks!
I was literally about to say this game, and you did that this game sucks. That's kind of funny. Twiggy, thank you for the 48 bits. I had to go for an hour. Did Eris spoiler alert? Yes. And Twiggy, thanks for the 152 bits. Wait, are you telling me you want to get gooned in this game? Maybe. Well, I'll have to get back on the old Super Meat Boy grind. It's something I've always wanted to get back to. Not because of the money, though. I mean, if you want to do that, that's great, but don't feel like you have to. Mom, the meatloaf! How's it going, man? What's the next Final Fantasy VII plan? Nothing for now. Everyone voted on Legend Dragoon, so we're playing Legend Dragoon. But after Legend Dragoon is over, we'll throw it back up to a vote, and there'll be plenty of Final Fantasy VII options. So if people do vote for Final Fantasy VII again, we'll be back to that. But for now, it seems like everyone wanted me to take a break from Final Fantasy VII and play Legend Dragoon, so here we are. Stepping stones. Like in kindergarten. Shauna, be careful not to slip. Okay. I'm gonna laugh when I slip and die. Total vanishing. The heck is that? Destroys minor enemies. Sweet. Think of the 5 bits. Final Fantasy VII's making a comeback. I don't know, there's plenty to watch. Labbits, what are you doing? God dang it, Labbits. You're always a problem. Huff, huff, huff. This is the second time you've saved my life. Huff, huff. I was just around. Even though that was the case, I was lucky you were around, Dart. It'll be a long relationship we will have. Alright, real talk, I can't find out if Lavitz is trying to get with Shauna or get with Dart, because this whole time, he's, you know, I thought he was hitting on Shauna. I was pretty sure Lavitz and Shauna till the end of time. Now it's looking like he's going for Dart. I'm not really sure. This could be either way. I guess we'll just have to find out. Oh my god, they're standing really close. Yep, that's right. Alright, that was awkward. Just trying to... Excuse me, you guys. I'm a girl. I have body parts that guys like... Okay. They're not into that, I guess. He's an open-minded champ. Tell you what, man. Thanks, Vitamin, for the 50 bits. I have body parts. I promise.
Yes. Go.
I have matches. Oh man, you don't have to do that. That's way too much money, dude. $2,500? Good lord. I'm just a boy. I don't want you to go broke over me. Not that I don't appreciate the offer or anything. Like, my wife and I are trying to buy a house this year. The money would definitely help more than you understand. Plus, it would also really help the charity. But I don't want you to go broke over me. I'll drop 250 puns if you plat Super Meat Boy. Now we're talking high stakes. Now we're talking high stakes.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
No, Super Meat Boy isn't the hardest platinum of all time, but it is the hardest that I've seen that is like purely skill based and not ridiculous online nonsense. Like in terms of like a game that you just sit down and play alone and try to beat, Super Meat Boy is the hardest I've seen. I Am Bread has less people with the platinum, but I think that's because it's such a frustrating game to begin with, and it's more of like the controls being bad and the actual port being garbage is the reason that no one has that platinum. Super Meat Boy is the only game I know that's super popular, plays super well, doesn't have any online BS, and still less than 100 people have the platinum. I think now there's more than 100 because someone found out that you can play the levels out of order and still get the trophies for the deathless runs. So once someone figured that out, a bunch more people got it. But Super Meat Boy was out for several years before the PS4 port came out, and then the PS4 port was out for several years, and even then only like 12 people had it. So it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, it's safe to say it's one of the hardest platinums ever made. These are rock fireflies. Oh, you know a lot. Well, I used to be saved by these a lot. Me too, in particular, the ones close to a battlefield were helpful. Excuse me, don't just chat amongst yourselves and leave me out. Tell me what they are. Man, bromance for real going on right now. What do you just do? He's just like, let me show you what these do. Sounds like I'm making excuses? What are you talking about? I tried to get that platinum for a really long time, and I'm still not done trying. So I'm not making an excuse. I'm still playing it. It's not like I said that to prove that I shouldn't get it. I plan on getting it. Yes, they announced the Spyro remake. It's pretty awesome. I'm still a little worried about it, but I think it'll turn out to be really good. The trailer looked really good, so. Oh boy. The light from a rock firefly has a healing power. Well, Shauna learned at least one thing. Well, I know something you don't know too, Dart. What is that? My bra size. I'm not telling. Well, yeah, I've been away from each other for 5 years. It's natural not to know about each other. Wait, my mom and I aren't like that. Every time I go back to Bale, she welcomes me with the same smile. This is the weirdest conversation. What, did I say something wrong? Let's get going. Your mother is waiting for you in Bale, right? Yeah! He loves to say, yeah! Oh, I heal. I think I should go back. This looks like the right way to go. I want to get that chest over there. It is worth mentioning that this game is turn-based, like officially turn-based. There's no action about it. You can sit there on the menu as long as you want and choose what you want to do. No treasure hunting. You got a war to deal with. Don't worry about it. It's not important.
Yes.
Oops. These enemies hurt. Especially a stupid balloon. Seymour just sneezed. Can you turn you healing into a special bit donation? What do you mean? Like the bit boss? You can only heal as the bit boss if you already are the bit boss. Oh, nice. You finally got a catch card, Dark Lord? That's amazing, dude. Thank you for the 77 bits Magic Man and 77 bits Arco and the 148 bits Patience. Thank you, man. Magic Man was the bit boss for like 2 seconds and then Patience took it. Yo! Thanks, man. I already said thanks, but thanks again. What in the actual heck is this? Is this thing gonna eat me? Another 100 G's. Thank you, Death Head, for the 200 bits. Appreciate that a lot. Getting closer and closer to that Funk of Titans. Keep in mind, after Funk of Titans is Night Trap, which will be a pretty hilarious game, and also a $30 Amazon gift card giveaway. So if you're interested in winning a $30 Amazon gift card, we might be giving that away later today if we hit that incentive. Today's the last day to hit the incentives as well, so if we want to see Funk of Titans, if you want to see Night Trap, if you want to see... what are the other games? We have, obviously, Life of Black Tiger. Oh yeah, Inner Kung Fu game. So if you want to see 2 of the worst PSN games that exist, or if you want to see the Final Fantasy VII Bugenhagen special, or if you want to see Night Trap or Funk of Titans, today is the last day to hit the incentives. No, I will not be streaming this weekend. Well, I guess I shouldn't say not. There's a small chance I could, but we're getting our chimney torn down this weekend, and I have no idea how long that's going to take or what is going to be involved in that. So my guess is I won't be.
Yes. Go.
Thank you for that 102, Patience. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 4 bits, gamer team. Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I'm trying to get you guys to donate, but today is the last day if you want to see any of those games. Ugly Balloon is right.
Go.
And also, the Life of Black Tiger, I believe, has the $100 charity bonus attached to it. So if we hit that, $100 extra goes to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Don't want to see Funk of Titans. Dude, it's going to be classic. I'm very curious to play Funk of Titans because it looks okay from the trailer, but I've heard it's absolutely miserable. I heard it's a terrible game, and I wonder why. Thank you for the 77 bits. Yeah, cat lateral damage is going to be real fun. We're playing that directly after this. We must appreciate the funk. I like how many dungeons there are in this game. There's not much walking around towns doing nothing and listening to story. It's kind of like constant dungeons. I kind of like that about this. Should I go this way or that way? This way. You know, a lot of like Final Fantasy games, you consistently get into towns where you listen to story or just walk around the town talking to NPCs. This game doesn't have much of that. You're like constantly going to more and more dungeons and fighting things. But it might just be now because it's the beginning of the game, so it's trying to keep us interested. Once we get to like Lavitz's town, it might be more RPG-ish there, but I guess we'll see. I don't remember. It's been too long since I played. Thunder-based individual attack. Cool. Should I fight this thing or like dodge it? I feel like I should fight it. Come back here. Come back here. I thought I was supposed to be avoiding this thing, but it's actually like I'm trying to capture it. Oh, I'm so close! Got it. What the? Poison Guard. Well, that sounds exciting. I do not own a PSVR. I hate VR. It's terrible. I hate it because it's a step back in video gaming. They went from making great 4K awesome video games to just throwing everything away because they wanted to make VR, which is awful. And no one cares about it. It's a fad. It's like you put on a VR headset, you're like, wow, that's cool, and then you go back to playing Last of Us because it's better. Like, VR is so stupid. I hate it. Not to mention, it just doesn't really work well for me. Like, I don't really, like, see the VR very well. Same thing with 3D. Like, I don't really get 3D very well. It just doesn't really work for me. VR doesn't really do anything for me either. And with my glasses, it's always annoying too. Like, it's just not something I'm interested in. I'm glad you're a VR fan. I'm glad you enjoy it, but I think in general it's kind of taken the whole video game scene backwards. Just as 3D did. When 3D came out, everyone was like, oh my god, 3D! Forget video games, let's just make everything 3D. Let's get 3D TVs, 3D consoles, 3D everything. Let's make everything 3D. And then like a year later they were like, wow, 3D sucks. No one cares about 3D. It's terrible. Stop making it. Same thing happened with motion controls, except with Nintendo, who actually kind of did it right, so they kept doing it. But everyone else was like, oh my god, it's amazing, we're going to make Kinect games, we're going to make Move games. They make like 10 games and they're like, oh, it's actually bad and just a fad. Let's stop doing this. They poured so much money into the PlayStation Move and then did absolutely nothing with it. And I actually liked the PlayStation Move. I'm actually kind of glad that it has a use for the VR stuff, because otherwise it would have just faded into obscurity, and I really like the Move. I still enjoy using the Move. I still go back and play the games sometimes. But yeah, VR is just a fad. It's gonna pass. And I hate the fact that literally every company thought it was the new thing. Like, how many times they have to go through this before they understand that sitting down on a couch with a controller playing a video game is the best way to play video games. Like, if you want to do VR, that's fine. But the fact that every company is like, VR's the new future, forget video games, VR's the new future. It's like, how many times do we have to go through this before you learn? It's like the third time now that you think this fad is going to be huge. It's not. Same thing happened with VR, or 3D. Same thing happened with motion controls. It's a fad. It's going to pass. Soon people are going to realize that after 8 hours of work, they don't want to come home, put on a goggle thing, and go like this. They want to sit down and play a video game. The only people that are interested in VR are people with a bunch of money who don't care about anything else and just sit at home and play video games. VR is not for the dad who goes to work every day for 9 hours and comes home and has like an hour to play. They want to be able to just flip on Legend Dragoon and play a couple minutes of it. They don't want to have to sit there and friggin' put on goggles and wave their arms around and make sure that there's a safe space and all that. Like, no, who has time for that? What's up, that one gal? Sounds good. I kind of figured that, because otherwise she'd be pretty dang useless. Exactly. People play video games to relax. Any other type of game is a niche market. And again, I'm glad they went with the niche market, but the fact that they always make it sound like it's everyone's got to get VR, it's like, no. You should tend to the niche. You should say, like, if you're into this kind of thing, we got the best one. Instead of being like, oh, you have to get VR or else you're behind. Like, no, you're not. You go buy an NES and not be behind. And go buy an NES and just play that and be fine. Stop making it sound like you have to get VR or else you're a loser. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? That's how I feel about Sony and Microsoft. No, I haven't played Axiom Verge. Isn't that game that's like a Metroid like a Metroid style retro game? That game looked really fun. It got really good ratings too, but I haven't played it myself. Yeah, totally agree. If you're into VR, I think it's gotten to the point now where it's pretty awesome. I like how they're combining the motion controls with it, and I think there's some good VR games out there. It's unfortunate that a lot of VR games are just absolute trash. Why is this worse? Why did I get this bandana? It's terrible. Get this out of here. Oh, boss time? There's something there. Could that be the much talked about guardian of the cave? Wow, you're gonna tell this, you're gonna say this now? Wouldn't it have been better to be like, when we walked into the cave, be like, oh no, this is the cave that has the monster in it. Hope we don't walk into it, and then this happens instead of just right before we fight it. Wow, is this the much talked about guardian? Shauna, step back. And she steps forward. Don't worry about me, I can help. And she's gonna get eaten. It's coming. Okay, that thing was terrifying. It was like tiny when it came up, and then all of a sudden it was huge. Holy cow. But yeah, it's unfortunate that VR is a fad, so literally every company threw in some garbage VR game just to try to take advantage of the fad. I mean, there is an incredible amount of terrible VR content on the PS Store for way too much money. Any kid that bought a VR system is probably getting screwed right now by like all the parents are buying these games for their kids and they're all terrible. Even a lot of the main, like Ubisoft, you know, all the big companies that made VR games, a lot of those are bad. Also, did you notice the name Ouroboros? It's kind of like the what is it? The Ourobolo? I can't pronounce it. Ouroboros, I think. The snake that eats his own tail. We were talking about it yesterday when we were playing Broken Sword.
Yes. Go.
Ouroboros, yeah, I got it right. Whose footprints are these? So the hope is that he only shoots that poison stuff at Lavitz because he's the one that has the poison armor, guard, whatever it was. So far, he threw his poison at Lavitz first, so I got pretty lucky with that. Some people have the wrong understanding of VR, including the companies making the games. That's what's unfortunate. If just us had the wrong opinion of it, that'd be fine. But the people making the games also have the wrong opinion of it, and that's why it's getting a bad rap. Oh, that's not good. Is that gonna poison all of us? Oh, maybe not. But yeah, I'm not trying to say that like all VR is bad and you should feel bad if you buy VR or something. Like, I'm not trying to say that. But it's definitely a fad, and it's frustrating that companies spend so much time and so much energy on the games for VR consoles. Like, I don't know, it's okay that they do that, but literally some of the announcements that came out for like the Sony VR, like people were saying VR is the new thing. Like, forget video games. Throw out your NES, kids. It's all about VR now. Like, no, not even close. It's how many times do we have to go through this, old man? Also, I like how Shauna is useful in this fight because he's up there. Trying to make Shauna useful. I could probably just throw an item at him, though. I guess we'll just guard. Maybe I'll have Shauna throw an item. Let's go Burnout. Wait, he's Earth? So... I don't have any wind, though. But fire should be fine. Booyah. I mean, yeah, I suppose I don't really blame them for putting a lot of money in VR. It's just frustrating that the companies don't ever seem to learn that these things don't replace regular gaming. I mean, just look at like the Wii. Like, when the Wii came out, Nintendo literally thought that mobile, like, motion controls were the new, like, forget gaming, motion controls, that's it. And then later realized, oh, we're idiots, and then, like, made the Pro Controller or whatever. It's like, how could you possibly think that every person would want motion controls? Sure, motion controls are great, and a lot of people are going to like it, but how could you possibly think, after how many years of regular gaming, wow, Dart, going at it, that motion controls are just going to take over, and there's no longer going to be controllers. But controllers will always be around. There will always be gaming with just controllers and nothing else. We did it! Now, let's get on our way to Indel's Castle. Why is this, like, in movie form? Something's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. Shauna, don't die. Shauna! Shauna! I knew it. Shauna, you're bad and you should feel bad. Shauna! Shiny forehead attack! Oh no, defeated by the shiny forehead. Oh my god, really defeated by the shiny forehead, jeez. Look at the screen, it's all like gridded. The heck? What was... War God's Amulet. Straight up Cosmos on that thing. What on earth happened? I don't know. Anyway, we are safe. We should think about how we get out of here. It'll be fine when we get to Bale. I think. I think, therefore I know.